Premarital smooching. Sorry I'm being so weird about this, Wallflower said. I've never kissed anyone before. Neither have I, Sunset said, staring at Wallflower with half-lidded eyes. If anything, that makes this so much more exciting. What? Wallflower blinked. But you dated Flash, didn't you? At that, Sunset grimaced. Date is a strong word. A more accurate one would be trophy boyfriend, but there was never anything there that anyone could consider romantic. Never went beyond holding hands, and even that was stretching it for me. Huh. Wallflower sat on the bed. So I would really be your first kiss? You're going to be, Sunset said, grinning as she plopped down, threading her arm beneath Wallflower's. Does that make you happy? Wallflower nodded slowly, her gaze flicking down for a brief moment. It makes me really happy that I get to be your first, too, Sunset said. She leaned a little closer, pivoting her upper body. Wallflower's face went bright red again. She shrunk away the slightest bit, and Sunset immediately stopped herself. I'm sorry, Sunset said. I promise I'm not trying to pressure you. No, please don't apologize, Wallflower interrupted her. It's okay. This is everything I ever wanted. She sighed, shaking her head. I guess I'm a little overwhelmed. This is really happening. I'm really here. Really with you. And we're not going to do anything you're uncomfortable with, Sunset said. I'm not uncomfortable, though. That's just it. Wallflower fell back onto the bed. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm being such a weirdo about this and ruining the moment, and I really do want this, but I'm so nervous. Hey. Sunset lowered herself so that she was lying right beside Wallflower. It's okay, Wallflower. We don't have to. But I want to! Wallflower's reply was as sharp as it was sudden. I really want to, Sunset. A thought entered Sunset's mind, and she smirked. Want to what? What? Wallflower froze. You know. I think I do, Sunset said. She rolled onto her side, striking her best dainty pose. But why don't you tell me anyway? Just to make sure we're on the same page. I mean, I want to... Wallflower gulped. I want to kiss you. There's a lot of different ways to kiss, Wallflower, Sunset said, her smile growing ever wider. Did you have one in mind? The crimson blush spreading across Wallflower's face and neck warmed Sunset's heart as well. I guess I don't know. It's okay if you don't know, Sunset said. We can brainstorm a bit. Wallflower just stared at her. Brainstorm about kissing? Why not? Wallflower blinked. So, Sunset rolled onto her back again. You could crawl on over here, lay yourself on top of me, and... that would be nice and easy, don't you think? Out of the corner of her eye, she saw Wallflower shifting, and couldn't help but giggle to herself. I'd love to feel your warmth and weight on me as it happens. Ooh, and the bed is so comfy, too. That'd make for a memorable first kiss. You think so? Sunset propped herself up. You could be the one on the bed if you want. She gently placed a hand on Wallflower's shoulder. You could just lie back and let me come to you. Just let yourself be enveloped by warmth and softness. Beside her, Wallflower shuddered. Sunset, does that sound nice? Yeah? Or... Sunset rose from the bed. Maybe we're not even on the bed. Maybe you push me up against the wall. She stood flush to the wall behind her, biting her lip and doing her best to make a sound that could be described as indecent. Sunset, come on! Wallflower sat up with a huff. Stop teasing me! I'm not teasing you at all, Sunset hummed. You can absolutely do this if you want to. I know, but... Wallflower slowly stood up and closed the space between them, her arms slipping gently around Sunset's waist. That's not me, you know? I want it to feel right. I want it to feel like this, right here. Warm and soft. She buried her face in the crook of Sunset's neck. And safe. Sunset held her girlfriend a little closer. You're so pure, Wally. She shivered as she felt Wallflower's light giggling against the side of her neck. Please don't start calling me that, Wallflower said. Well, now I have to. If you do, I'll have no choice but to start calling you Sunny. I think that's a worthwhile sacrifice, Sunset said. You're such a dork, Sunny. You love it, Wally. Wallflower nodded, sighing. I really do. Wallflower held her gaze, and the two of them fell silent. They were so close. It took all of Sunset's willpower not to close the gap herself. As much as she wanted to, as easy as it would be to steal their first kiss right then and there, that wasn't what Wallflower needed. As she forced herself not to stare at those soft, inviting lips, Sunset hoped Wallflower figured out whatever she needed soon. Wallflower looked away, deflating. I'm sorry I'm like this. I think it's pretty normal to be like this about your first kiss, Sunset said. It's your first kiss too, though, Wallflower said. I want it to be perfect for you, but I guess the real problem is that I'm not sure how I can make it perfect. Wallflower, I mean, it'd be with me, Wallflower sighed. I don't know. I've never been able to shake the feeling that you deserve better than me. We've talked about this before, Sunset said. It's one of those things where I just knew it when I felt it. I can list all the reasons why I like you 100 times, but really it all just boils down to this feeling right. Then maybe you were wrong. Wallflower lowered her head. I mean, there's nothing special about me. I'm not magical like your other friends, or really talented at anything, and I look and act like such a mess, Sunset. I almost ruined your life, and now we're dating? And yeah, I'm so grateful, but I feel like I'm still making your life worse just by being part of it. Wallflower, and really, what kind of horrible girlfriend doesn't kiss her partner for this long? The faintest of trembles crept into Wallflower's voice as her gaze fell to her baggy sleeves. Besides, your first kiss should be with someone pretty, and not someone who has to hide herself under a big stupid sweater. How could it ever be perfect with me? Sunset didn't let Wallflower finish the thought. In a single motion, she took Wallflower's head in her hands, pressed herself forward, and brought their lips together. Their kiss was warm, gentle, and every bit as beautiful as Sunset always knew it would be. When they parted, it wasn't by much. Sunset could feel Wallflower's slow, unsteady breaths against her cheek as the two of them reveled in the moment. After a few more seconds of tranquil silence, Sunset spoke softly into the tiny space between them. It's perfect because it's with you. For a moment, it seemed like Wallflower was trying to say something, but in the end, her only reply was to stand on her toes and drift forward into another kiss. Sunset wondered if Wallflower could feel her smile widening against her lips as Wallflower lightly pushed her up against the wall, with gentle but demanding urgency. Sunset's hands slowly traced their way down from Wallflower's freckled cheeks to her shoulders, ultimately settling on her hips. A delightful hum sounded in Sunset's chest as she held her girlfriend a little closer, losing herself in the tender feeling of Wallflower's lips against her own. The seconds passed ever slower, and her thoughts evaporated into a blissful fog of love and joy. When their lips reluctantly drifted apart, Sunset opened her eyes, and immediately couldn't stop herself from giggling at the red-faced, starry-eyed gaze Wallflower was giving her. Oh gosh. Wallflower barely spoke above a whisper. That was really nice. Mm-hmm. Sunset nodded, acutely aware of the blush spreading across her own face. Now I get why people like it so much. Yeah, Wallflower sighed, resting her head against Sunset's shoulder. Thank you for being so patient with me. Thank you for making my first kiss perfect. The tiny little smile on Wallflower's face was the most beautiful thing Sunset had ever seen. You're wonderful, Wallflower whispered. Sunset's heart was overflowing with joy. If only she could stay in that moment forever, holding close the most precious girl in the world for as long as that paradise would allow. Wallflower stepped away, taking Sunset's hand and leading her towards the bed. Wallflower fell back onto the mattress, her head spreading wide around her head like a verdant halo. What you said earlier, Wallflower's smiling face was bright red, about how I could just lie back and let you, that sounded really nice. Fireworks were going off behind Sunset's jubilant grin as she carefully crawled onto the mattress and climbed atop her girlfriend. She lowered herself, lying halfway on and halfway beside Wallflower, stopping when they were face to face. Wallflower's soft, loving eyes closed. Sunset's did the same, and the kissing resumed. Thank you for listening in. Please like the video if you enjoyed the reading, and subscribe to be informed about future readings. Until next time, stay tuned.